Thank you, Dan. What a wonderful way to start our service today. Good morning. My name is Jean Kakuza. I use she and her pronouns, and we want to welcome you to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Berks County. As Unitarian Universalists, we come together not with a list of dogma, but of shared values centered on unconditional love. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are at this moment, in the sanctuary, online, or right here, wherever you are in life's journeys, you are welcome in this community. As we are gathering, I want to extend a special welcome to anyone visiting with us this morning. If you haven't already, please take a moment to fill out one of the green connection cards in the pews and drop it in the offering basket this morning. And then please join us after the service for coffee and conversation during fellowship time in the Gerber Room. Those joining online, please take a minute to write your name in the chat box and to let us know where you are joining us from this morning. You'll find the UU Berks web address in the chat box and a link to today's order of service. You can sign up on the webpage for our weekly newsletter. The connection cards can also be used to request calls and visits from Reverend John to update your personal information and to connect with the lay leadership of the church. Please drop those cards in the offering basket. Pastoral requests will be forwarded confidentially to the minister. For new families and our youngest members, there's a few options for being present in worship this morning. There's the children's space at the back of the sanctuary, where Miss Erin is keeping an eye on things, or you may sit in the pews with your parents. There's also quiet nursery space just off the sanctuary through the door and across the hallway. Audio of the service is available there. Now let's take a moment to greet each other with a wave or a namaste or smile, and as you do, please wave back to the camera and greet our online participants. Today we welcome Michelle Nearly, my dear friend Michelle. Michelle has a Master's of Divinity. She also is a health coach for Berks Counseling Center. She's got a lot of experience with boundaries, which is what we're going to talk about this morning, which I think is really appropriate since we're going to be composing our covenant, which is a lot about respect and boundaries. So I'm looking forward to that. So, Michelle will light the candles.
Good morning, everyone. This is the time for you to light your chalice if you have one at home while our chalice is lit in the sanctuary. Today's chalice lighting words are from me. Light of the sun touches earth's surface, and we, earth's surface dwellers, are bound by that light. May this chalice be a reminder that we are bound together by warmth and light. Please rise, embody your spirit, and join in our opening hymn. May nothing evil cross this door. EB's leading. be seated. Thank you, E.B. So we're talking about boundaries today, and I thought we would do an embodied boundary exercise where we really constrict ourselves and bind ourselves up, and then we loosen and loosen and loosen. So the analogy, or what I'm going to use as something to consider as we do this, is that we freeze ourselves like ice. Like we get really tight, okay? And then we melt like water and melt a bit more, and then maybe vapor if we have that capacity. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens, okay? So I will, so you're all sitting. We're going to do this in just, you know what, we're going to just do the whole body, but I'm going to kind of scan through the body from head to toes, okay? Let's try to avoid giving ourselves cramps, though, okay? So you all know those places in your body that tend to cramp up. Might want to not go as hard on those places, right? Maybe not go so vigorously. Okay, so we're gonna, and you can have your eyes closed. I like to have my eyes closed for this. So I'm gonna, so we scrunch up our nose, we squeeze our eyes shut, we pucker our lips like we're sucking on a sour lemon. We're tensing around our head like you just have like a big raisin head. And we're squeezing around our neck. Keep breathing, everybody, keep breathing. Squeeze your shoulders, squeeze your hands, make fists, squeeze under your armpits, squeeze your chest, squeeze your belly, squeeze your butt, squeeze your legs. We're squeezing, 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 squeeze a little bit more. We're a big block of ice, take a big breath in. And now as you let go, melt, 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 melting water from the ice. Melting water from the ice, evaporating water, and we'll move into our meditation on breathing.
So, in that melting water and maybe even air into the atmosphere, I'd love you to breathe in. I invite you to breathe in, and Dan's going to give us that opening chord. We're going to sing just breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe. And some people stay there and some people on the melody.
Let us open our minds and hearts to the spirit of this community. Take this moment to call to mind all who are in need of our kindness, caring, and love. Consider if there was someone in your life, even if that someone is yourself, who needs our support this week. We take this time to honor those souls. Those who are online may share joys and sorrows in the chat box, and those on site are invited to come forward and place stones in our common bowl in sympathy, celebration, or solidarity. Let us sing Spirit of Life together, first in Spanish, then in English.
Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y a corazón, cántale tu compasión.
Let us be together in silence. Our reading today is by Madeline Taylor. Trees need their protective bark to enable the delicate process of growth and renewal to unfold without threat. Likewise, we must have our boundaries and defenses so that the more vulnerable parts of ourselves can safely heal and unfold. But our excuse me. But our growth can also depend upon our ability to soften, loosen, and discard boundaries that we no longer need. It is often the case in life that structures we put in place to eventually help us grow eventually become constricting.
Thank you, Jean. We're going to do a short musical meditation that allows us to be with ourselves and honor that, and also be with each other at the same time. So I'm going to just go through, I think there are words for this up, yeah. Yes, so I'm going to go through the first 2 stanzas. There are 4, and we'll go through the whole thing twice. Here I am, here with me, here you are, here we are. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. That's the whole thing. I mean, that's how it goes. So, are you ready? Here I am, here with me, here you are, here we are. Here I am, here with me, here we are, living here. Am I going? Up? I'm doing the sermon now. I thought you were doing a little thing, but okay, we're good. Okay. Okay, later. Okay, we're going. In the last year or so, I noticed that I was saying no to a lot more things. Some things I would normally say yes to. Some things I really value. Opportunities to gather with people I like. Opportunities to go on adventures. I was noticing other no's. No, this doesn't work for me anymore. I don't want this. I don't like this. I was also expressing things to people that I normally would have bit my tongue. Did I just email that to that person? Yeah, I did. What was happening? Something in me was shifting. My capacity to be pulled in various directions was becoming smaller. Things just felt like too much. And I was tired. I wasn't able to say yes to all the things. I was trying to protect what little energy I had. What was happening in me, which includes perimenopause, is that I was struggling with boundaries. I say it in the past tense, but it is very much and ongoing process. So today we're exploring boundaries. So we're going to begin with, what are they? What are boundaries? Most generally, a boundary is a real or imagined line that marks the edge of something. Boundaries are necessary parts of our existence. They create frameworks within which to live and thrive. Boundaries help us feel safe and supported. For example, there's a slide for this, Mike. On a cold, snowy, windy day, we may temporarily enjoy the invigorating outdoor elements, but we are also relieved to get inside to a dry, warm, more comfortable environment of a home or building. Most land animals have shelter, which is a boundaried space of safety and protection. So boundaries can be healthy, but they can also be too rigid, more like walls of protection and distance. Boundaries can also be too loose or porous. This would be like oversharing, difficulty saying no, and depending on others' opinions. We have personal boundaries, we have boundaries with others. What's mine? What's yours? What's ours? What's theirs? We can imagine how this could be really healthy, like your body and your choices are your own. Or it could be really bad. Your body and your choices are not your own. There are natural boundaries. There is a slide for this. Oh, that's not the one I wanted, but that's okay. Okay, so that's a boundary, but that's, let me go to that one. I want the Earth. Where's the planet? Oh, I don't know where. Okay, there it is. Okay, thanks, Mike. So we have the Earth, this ball that we live on, right? That's a boundary. Thankfully, we have gravity that helps keep us here to some degrees. You know, sometimes, feels like we're like, up there. But yes, we have we get gravity, and we're held on this earthly planet together. We're bound in that way. There are many different types of boundaries. So we're going to take a look at some others. Now we'll go back to the baby. So this is a bound baby, a swaddled baby. Swaddling during the first few months of a baby's life can offer safety and protection, similar to how they were protected in mama's womb. Of course, the baby also needs space to explore their world and grow, to reach and grab and feel into the environment. So we also have boundaries within our human body. We have a picture of that too. There we go. We have boundaries within the body. We have organs that are bound and connected with other parts at the same time. We have lined tubes that let fluids run through, a whole mapped system of various functioning parts to make a whole human. We also have sensory organs and nerves that let the outside in. Our sight, our hearing, taste, we feel, and the inside out. So let's take a moment, this is a practice, to feel the texture with your hands of the seat that you're sitting on. So we're just going to kind of rub our hands along the seat, feeling the texture. This is information that we can feel. So we explore things outside of us, and they are part of our experience. So then we have another image of a shoreline where, this is a slide, I think. Yeah, that life happens on land and different life happens in the water. We are no longer water creatures. At least we can try to be for little bits of time, but for the most part, we're land beings. Then we have another slide that shows a different type of boundary. It's a road. There are lines on this road so that vehicles know to stay in their lane. That's a boundary, right? On this particular road, I was a passenger. You might notice that there are no guardrails on this road, and it was along a cliff. And this challenged my personal boundaries. I was very uncomfortable, but got through it. I like guardrails. That's nice to know about my personal boundaries. It doesn't mean that I'm not gonna go on a road without guardrails, but whoever's with me in the car may have to do some extra cushioning for me. Okay, so let's consider personal boundaries. Nedra Tawwab, a therapist and author who speaks a lot about boundaries, helped define these. Boundaries are choices, personal boundaries, are choices that we make for ourselves to be in healthy relationship with ourselves, to support ourselves. They are things that are important to us personally. We all have them. For example, maybe you place limits on your screen time, or you make sure you get outside daily, or you have planned downtime. Do any of you have planned downtime? Yes, planned downtime. So take a moment to just think about some personal boundaries you've created for yourself to support yourself. It might be like getting to bed at a certain time to ensure that you're refreshed for the next day. Nedra talks about boundaries also like turning off your phone, not being available at every hour, every minute of every day. Nedra says about personal boundaries, how do you embrace who you are? Because we live in a world where there's constantly this idea, you need to be this, you need to be that. But embracing who we are and what we need may not be so easy. For many of us growing up, we had to override our wants and needs in order to feel safe and protected with the adults in our lives. We couldn't just get up in the middle of class and stretch. Could any of you do that? Like in the middle of school? Just get up and stretch when you wanted to, or just move around a bit? I couldn't. That wasn't allowed. Many children weren't allowed to say no. That wasn't even a conversation. So, it is an empowering practice now that we get to discover what we personally need and want in our lives, what's important to us, and follow through with honoring those boundaries through our actions and behaviors. It says much about having space to say yes to what's important to us. And having enough space may require that we say no to some things. I feel like I'm just learning how to do this in my life. Do any of you feel that way, that you're kind of green with this, being able to put boundaries on so that you can really stay with what's important and what you value. Okay, so that's personal boundaries. Then we have to be in relationship with other people and honor our own and each other's boundaries. Like, are you kidding me? How do we do that? It's hard enough to just honor our own. So here's an example. I am a morning person. My spouse is not a morning person. His energy and creativity are much more in the evening hours when I really don't have much left in the tank. It took years for me to finally get, don't try to have a deep conversation with him at 6:30 in the morning. It doesn't work. It took me years to figure this out. And I don't expect him to become a morning person. And he doesn't expect me to become a night person. We don't expect ourselves or each other to change that we are morning or night people. This is part of figuring out our boundaries. It can be a bit more difficult when we know that in order to respect our own boundaries, it might mean saying no to someone. And they may have hurt or angry feelings about it. Nedra reminds us that, and I think there's a slide with this text on it. She says, I don't think it's our job to manage how people feel about our boundaries. I don't think it's our job to manage how people feel about our boundaries. That's where it gets really hard. Meaning, I share a boundary with someone, I release control of their feelings about my boundaries. Someone has a boundary with me, I get to have my feelings about it, as uncomfortable as they might be. This is a practice of getting to know ourselves and each other and what we value and what we need. And it's really hard to do because we really care about people and we don't want them to feel hurt. Prentice Hemphill, who is a therapist and author, I think they have a great definition on boundaries in relationship. There's a slide for this. Boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. What might it feel like to love me and love others at the same time? It might mean creating different space with another person, physically, emotionally, psychically. It might mean getting to know each other in a different way. It might mean checking in with yourself more frequently while with another person and checking in with our bodily cues. My throat just got really tight. My belly tightened up. I feel like I want to escape. Those are some bodily cues that we can pay attention to. So it means creating those limits for yourself that respect your own boundaries and invite conversations about what each other wants and needs in our relationships. It's inner listening and listening with another. It's about being flexible and open enough to expand our boundaries about who and what we are also. So being flexible and open, to expand who we think we are, our self-limiting beliefs, all of that. How do we do that? Prentice Hemphill suggests that the relational space between me and you, even with our differences, is what informs us of just how connected we are. Prentice says, there's no quote for this. There's nothing for this. Our bodies are encased in skin that is both barrier and porous. It lets things in and it keeps things out. We are both individual and collective. And as much as boundaries differentiate, they are evidence of our impact on one another, of our interrelatedness, not a denial of it. They are how we shape the relational space between us with each of our needs. They're not barriers to keep us apart, more an invitation into knowing who each of us is. They arise from understanding who we are. We exist in relationships, all kinds, not just with people, with the whole planet, the whole universe. And because we are connected beings and connected with the planet, our boundaries are crossing and being crossed all the time. We rely on things outside of us to enter into us, and we rely on things inside of us to exit out. Breath is one example. It's about, we have to invite air in. We have to let go of it. Problems occur when boundaries are crossed that weren't invited in, when no's aren't valued, when some lives are considered more valuable than others. I do not have answers to these problems of control, manipulation, and abuses of power. I do believe, however, that we are living into questions of relationships that weren't being highlighted before as much. Questions about how we relate with ourselves is important to the whole. Questions about how we relate with each other is important to the whole. These questions and conversations and living into help stretch our boundaries to include how we are interconnected, and questions that help us appreciate how we are supported. So, I have one more slide. There's one more slide that asks some questions that maybe we just take a moment to consider. What is a personal boundary that you've created to support your living? What helps you expand your boundaries? What helps you experience beyond limiting thoughts and behaviors, where we kind of wake up to a new understanding of something? And how do we create enough safety with ourselves and each other to enter into new territories of conversation and understanding? Those are some big questions. Maybe start with the personal boundary. That one might be a little easier. But I do invite these questions into our conversation at coffee hour if anyone wants to explore them. Boundaries are good. Boundaries help us feel safe and supported. They are not barriers to keep us apart. It's about entering into relationships with those boundaries, inviting in the conversation. Thank you.
Let us be in conversation in song with There Is a Love this morning. This slide will be, there we are. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all I rest in. This love holding us. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all we rest in. This love.
Our Share the Plate this month is the Reading Public Library, and today we welcome Carolyn Spano from Reading Public Library to speak to us about what they do, and this very important part. It's right here in our neighborhood. It's our neighbor here.
Good morning, everybody. This is such a beautiful service. This is my second time here and speaking, and it's just such a lovely, lovely morning. And this is definitely a congregation of love, and just really, it's been a wonderful morning. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. So I tend to go off my script, and then when I try to go back on my script, it's usually a hot mess. So just try to bear with me. My dad would say that I'm passionate, but I do get off my script. So like it was mentioned, my name is Carolyn Spano, and I have the honor to be the Director of Development and Communications for the Reading Public Library. My work focuses on helping people understand the impact of the library, sharing stories of the people we serve, building relationships with individual businesses and foundations and organizations throughout our community. When many people hear the word library, we immediately think books, just stacks and stacks of books. And there certainly are tons of books. That's certainly one of my favorite things about the library. But the Reading Public Library is so much more than a place filled with books. The library is a place where people come together to learn, connect, grow, discover, and find support. We have a remarkable history. We are an Andrew Carnegie Library, and we are the 6th oldest library in the United States. For generations, the library has been a part of our Reading community. Now let's think about this for a moment. Since 1763, people have walked through the doors of the Reading Public Library. Children have visited with their parents, students have studied there, families have attended programs, people have searched for jobs, learned new skills, and developed new interests. Generations of people use the library, and each generation have found something different that they needed. And that is the one thing I love most about our library doors that are open to everyone. The Reading Public Library is also more than just one building. In addition to our main library, we have 3 additional branches located throughout the city. These branches bring library services directly into the neighborhoods we serve. Together, we ensure that residents throughout the city have access to books, programs, technology, educational resources, and a welcome place to connect. Every day, people walk through our doors for many different reasons. A young child may come to the library for story time and discover the joy of reading for the very first time. A parent may bring their children to a free program. They are looking for education, enriching activities that a family can afford. A teenager can come to study, use a computer, participate in a program, or simply just feel safe to spend time. As an adult may come to the library to learn English, prepare for a job interview, complete an online application, or learn how to use technology. A senior citizen may attend a program looking for connections, friendships, and something meaningful to do. That is the beauty of a public library. There is no single type of person that belongs there. The library belongs to all of us. And our commitment to serving the community does not end at the doors of our library building. We improve the lives of city seniors by bringing them their favorite books, movies, music directly to their senior retirement community. We're serving over 18 throughout the city. Our senior outreach librarian, Ryan, visits community, provides materials for residents to browse who may not be able to have the ability to come to the library. But what makes these services so special and meaningful and connect is the residents and the seniors that he serves. They love him. They come, they make requests from a spicy book to learn a new trait to anything. They love when Ryan comes. Ryan knows his customers by name. He knows their reading preferences. He remembers what they enjoy and provides all of this when they ask. For many reasons, this is so much more about borrowing books or movies. It's about connection. It's about having someone visit, knowing their name, remembering what you like, and taking the time to find something special for you. Another very special program is our early literacy program. Helps young children develop the skills they need to be successful when they enter school. We provide tutoring, educational programs for children and teens. We offer ESL classes for adults who want to improve their language skills. We provide technology, digital literacy programs to help people feel more comfortable in an increasingly digital world. The library also provides services to many people may not realize that are available right here in our community. For example, the Reading Public Library offers passport services, making it easier for residents to apply for new passports in a familiar, accessible location. This is just another example of how the library continues to meet the changing need of our community. We offer art programs, book clubs, cooking programs, educational programs, and activities for families, children, and teens. One program I'm so proud of is our Food for Thought. This program combines literacy, math, science, cooking. Children learn through hands-on experience while preparing meals and snacks. They learn to read recipes. They are practicing math by measuring ingredients. They are learning about science through cooking, and they are building confidence and important life skills. It is a great example of how the library can take something familiar like cooking and turn it into an opportunity to learn. We provide technology and resources that so many people may not have at home. For someone without a computer or reliable internet access, the library may be the place where they apply for a job, complete schoolwork, access important information, or connect with family. For someone learning English, the library can be a place where they build confidence and feel more connected to their community. For a child who does not have a large collection of books at the library can provide an entire world of studies and information. Families facing financial challenges, the library provides free access to resources that would otherwise cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Last year, our community borrowed hundreds of thousands of items from the library, saving local families nearly $2 million compared to purchasing these materials themselves. Our computers were used tens of thousands of times, and thousands of children and teens participated in library programs such as our Summer at RPL program, which is currently going on. But these are always only stats. They don't tell the complete story. The real impact of the library can be found in the people we serve. It's the child who discovers a love of reading and becomes excited to come to the library every week. It's a parent who finds free educational resources for their children. It's the student who has a quiet place to study. It's the person who comes to the library to use a computer to apply for a job. And it's also adults who gain an English class and gain the confidence to communicate in their community. It's the senior who finds connection through a program or activity. It's the family who finds something fun and educational to do. The library is a place where we can come exactly as we are and find help, resource, and welcome. I think there's something very special about that. In a world that can sometimes feel divided, the library is a place where people from different backgrounds, different ages, and different experiences come together. They may come for different reasons, but they all share the space and gain the same opportunities. I believe that something in the library is common with churches and faith communities. Churches are a place where people come together. They are places of learning, connection, service, and support. They help people during important moments in their lives. They provide community, they welcome people, and they offer opportunities to serve. The public library also has a role in bringing people together and strengthening our community. We may do that through some of this is a little repeated, I apologize. As a nonprofit, the Reading Public Library depends on public funding, grants, and generous donations of our community to provide all of these free programs and services. We need these services for our community to continue to grow. That's why community support is so important, and why I thank you for all of your support that you have done for the Reading Public Library. There are many ways that other people do enjoy supporting. Our biggest fundraiser is coming up in September. It's Cocktails and Classics. It's our annual fundraiser. Our theme this year is Boots, Books, and Bling, and it will be held on September 25th at the DoubleTree. It's a wonderful evening that brings people together to enjoy food, drink, and entertainment. It's an exciting atmosphere. We also are hosting our first Purse Bingo on November 9th. This will be a fun afternoon featuring bingo, beautiful purses, and lots of excitement. We will be going right down on 2nd Street at the Hispanic Center Senior Center, so another partnership that we are making throughout our community. The goal of doing the bingo is that, so maybe this is an event where they might not be able to go to Cocktails and Classics, but we will be able to invite our community for people to enjoy this as well. These events are important. It brings our community together. It has fun, supports the library. Whether someone attends events, sponsors a program, donates, volunteers, or simply shares information about the library with a friend, every bit of support makes a difference. When people support their library, they are simply not supporting books. They are supporting all who enter our doors. They are helping make sure an adult can look for a job, access a computer, help a teen feel safe, and children to learn the love of books. I believe the library is a reflection of what community values. When we invest in the library, we are saying education matters, and that every person in our community deserves access to this opportunity. It is a place built on the belief that knowledge should be accessible, community should be connected, and everyone deserves the opportunity to grow. For more than a century, the Reading Public Library has served this community, and with the continued support of our community, we will continue to be there for generations to come. Thank you for allowing me to share a little bit about the Reading Public Library today, and I thank you for all that you do to support, serve, and strengthen our community. Thank you so much.
As a community of faith, we share what we can with one another. We offer ourselves to the ministries of this church by giving and receiving from one another. One of those gifts is our financial resources. Your financial generosity makes it possible for us to live out our principles in our church and beyond our doors, keeping hope, courage, and forgiveness and compassion alive. You may make a financial contribution online through the Giving app or in the basket. This is the time to share what you can. With gratitude, we give and we receive these gifts. Important announcements and upcoming events can be found on the back of your order of service, in our weekly newsletter, in the Univoice, at our website, and on our Facebook page.
A couple of them to highlight are August 1st, South of Penn Cleanup. The 16th is New Member Breakfast, and the 25th is our food pantry that keeps going in there. Please go look at those beautiful invitations. Make some invitations in coffee hour, too, about what you're doing and keep that connection and those boundaries honored and going. Now, won't you please rise in body, rise in spirit. For our closing hymn, it is May I Be Light, and it will be up on our screen. May I be light in you, may you be light in me, into our hearts, into our souls, let love abide. May I be love in you, may you be love in me, from this place out to the world for all time.
And as we go out into the world, may we stay with that love and that light inside and share it with each other. Blessed be.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Good
Ryder.
morning.
You're echoing a little bit.
Morning. Yeah, I can hear fine.
You hear fine?
Yeah.